That show with Pastor Melvin Whittington. Going to be a very busy day today. I'm also going to do a live show right here for you all at 12 noon Eastern. And I also want to thank you for your prayers and ask you for your prayers as well. As my son Brock, his wife Leanne, her mother Debbie was her name. Debbie passed away yesterday, very unexpectedly. It was very shocking to our family, my grandchildren, especially in Indiana, because Debbie lived with Brock and Leanne. And so Debbie was very close to those three kids, especially. So anyway, pray for our family at this time. Heidi has already went on last night. She caught a plane quickly and headed to Indiana to help with the situation there. And I'm going to stay here in Florida and continue to take care of the ministry here. So a lot going on, guys. A lot of prayers needed. Thank you so much. Okay. Let me put a shout out right now because we're going to talk about a solar flare. It's not a flare. This was a solar explosion. And I'm going to tell you about it and the effects we're going to have on the earth before this day is over. But first, let's talk about another solar bank. www.backupsolarbank.com. That's backupsolarbank.com. You see, there was a missing hiker, and his injuries, his injured dog had been rescued in California, but the 37-year-old male and his four-legged companion got separated from the rest of the group after the hiker's dog got injured. Luckily, the local search and rescues found them. Why? Because his phone was still charged because he had this, www.backupsolarbank.com. That's www.backupsolarbank.com. So what this does is, this is solar panels here in the front. That's a solar panel. And so, he was able to charge his phone no matter where he was out there in the middle of nowhere. And because he had a phone that was charged, they were able to find him. He couldn't call anybody because there was no cell tower. But guess what? His phone was working because he kept charging it on the backupsolarbank.com, and they found his phone using a GPS system. So I'm going to encourage everybody, no matter what you're doing out there, always have a backup plan. So go to www.backupsolarbank.com. That's backupsolarbank.com. All right. Now, guys, let me just say real fast for you. Here's what happened on the sun yesterday. A massive solar eruption, about 5 times bigger than the size of the Earth. The sun just exploded. And look, whatever you do, notice this, that sunspot AR 2891 is big enough to swallow the entire Earth 4 or 5 times. That's how big this eruption, this massive solar eruption took place on the sun. And since then, AR 2891 has produced a pair of M1 class solar flares, multiple C-class solar flares, and a handful of CMEs. All of it this morning in the early morning hours of October 26th alone. 8 flashes of extreme UV radiation headed toward the Earth. It will ionize the top of our atmosphere, causing brief shortwave radio blackouts, and could even affect power grids. Just wait until AR 2891 is actually facing the Earth. For the next 2 weeks, it will transit the face of the sun, increasing the geo-effectiveness of future flares. This is a huge deal. So sunspot AR 2891, it was facing upward as it's coming down toward us. It was basically straight north when it erupted with this massive eruption, creating 8 flashes, 2 M1 class solar flares, multiple C class flares, a handful of CMEs, all released from the sun. It's still going to affect us. Even though it wasn't a direct hit, just this enormous amount of activity of extreme UV radiation, these cosmic rays, these pulses of ionizing the top of our atmosphere and will cause brief shortwave radio blackouts and even potential power grid disruptions. So we need to stay focused and alert. Meanwhile, there were 39 fireballs. What? Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. 39 fireballs breaking through the Earth's atmosphere yesterday in a 24-hour period. They came from every different direction, and it's really creating a significant amount of meteors and asteroids and debris. As we are entering more and more into this debris situation, it's getting more and more intense. So a lot of prayers, keeping our eyes open. You know, Jesus said, when these things begin to come to pass, look up, lift up your head, for your redemption is drawing nigh. Well, how about asteroids? Yes. We had two absolutely, well, one scraped by us, the other one hit us. On October 24th, on Sunday, coming out of nowhere, we had an asteroid. It's been given a name, asteroid 2021 UT. This one was a 5-meter asteroid, so a small rock. It went raging past us, scraping past us at 0.4 lunar distance, less than half the distance from the moon as it went whizzing by. But then yesterday, an asteroid, we didn't see it coming. It's been given a name, asteroid 2021 UA1. This asteroid, the size of only 2 meters, so a 6 foot, okay, asteroid about the size of me, flying, hit the Earth. It hit us. Lunar distance. It hit us. It hit us with a velocity of 15.8 kilometers per second. It was raging through the skies. Good news is it was small, only like we said, only 2 meters, and it hit in the ocean. So thank God for that. But it's getting, like Mike from the World said, we can't keep escaping them forever. We're going to start getting hit. Good news on this one, it was only 2 meters. It was only 2 meters, not 62 meters, not 162 meters, or something insanely would have, not Apophis that's coming on April the 13th, Friday the 13th, 2029. So there's just so much going on out there in the heavens. And I think people need to understand the Bible said there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and distress of nations with perplexity. The sea and the waves will be roaring, and men's hearts will fail them for fear, for looking after those things that are coming upon the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Then shall we see the Son of Man. Then shall we see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with power and great glory. When these things begin to come to pass, he said, look up, lift up your head, your redemption draweth nigh. I want to thank this wonderful little gift I got from some of the folks over at Freedom Fellowship for a Pastor Appreciation Day. It says, with God, all things are possible. Matthew 19:26. With God, all things are possible. Thank you so much. It was pretty nice gift from Larry and Natalie. Thank you, guys. Now, I just want to say something real fast. Time is running out. People are not ready. People are not aware of the situations that's developing around the world. And because of that, they are not preparing for such a time as this. We are working feverishly. I think the tickets are now available. If you wanted to get your ticket, you can go to Eventbrite. I think it's at Eventbrite. But our next webinar, our last webinar of the year, will be held December 3rd and 4th. December 3rd and 4th. The name of this webinar is The Armies of the Antichrist. And I've already interviewed Tim Che. Tim Che is the writer and producer. Excuse me, I'm wrong. Tim Che is the director of a movie that has come out and is doing extremely well on Epic Times. It's exclusively on Epic Times. The title of this movie is The Interview with the Antichrist. That's the name of the movie, and I watched it, and it is really good. And it's kind of neat because Tim Che is a great Christian, and you'll see that when I'm talking to him and I'm interviewing him and I've already did the interview for the webinar. And when I'm talking to him, he's just a delightful guy. He's done about 10 movies. Some of them, most of them are faith-based movies, especially one of the better ones he did was called Freedom with Cuban Gooding Jr. And that one won some major awards. It was the first time ever that Showtime aired a faith-based movie. Showtime, the first faith-based movie ever aired by Showtime was Freedom, and it was directed by Tim Che. Well, Tim has done another movie on the Rapture, which was great. But this one's really amazing because it was during the pandemic, and nobody could do anything because everybody said they had to stay home. Nobody could film anything. He said, "I'm not going to stay home and set out a whole year and not make a movie for God." So he rented a warehouse in Los Angeles, one that's used by all the major movie, like MGM uses it, Disney uses it, all the big guys. He was able to rent this thing real cheap. And he directed a movie called The Interview with the Antichrist, where the Antichrist actually walks into this warehouse under heavy guard, sits down, and is interviewed by a reporter. It is phenomenal. The guy he gets that plays this role is incredible. And the information of what the Antichrist is going to do is right out of the pages of the Bible. So it's amazing. I interviewed him, Tim Che. So that interview will be on the webinar called The Armies of the Antichrist. You don't want to miss. This is the best webinar of the year. It's the last webinar of the year. Armies of the Antichrist. So far, I've already interviewed Tim Che, the director of the movie Interview with the Antichrist. I'm also going to be interviewing this week, actually, two guys that wrote the book, The Military Guide to Armageddon. The Military Guide to Armageddon. This was the #1 bestseller. It was written by Colonel David Giammona and Troy Anderson. David Giammona and Troy Anderson wrote this book, The Military Guide to Armageddon. They came out with it. It was also forwarded by Matt Hagee, which is, of course, John Hagee's son. And I had a chance to talk to both of these guys extensively about this when I was in California. And now I'm looking forward to interviewing them for this webinar, Armies of the Antichrist. Colonel Giammona, of course, fought in Iraq and was involved in a lot of military operations. And he is a God-fearing preacher. And I tell you, this is a powerful book, The Military Guide to Armageddon. So I'm going to be interviewing both of these gentlemen, Colonel David Giammona and Troy Anderson, as both of them wrote the book. It'll be a great interview. They will be also part of this Armies of the Antichrist webinar. Also, Archbishop Athanasius Schneider, the Archbishop of Kazakhstan, who is also, as an archbishop, he reports directly to a cardinal. He studied also 7 years in the Vatican on eschatology of the last days. And he's going to reveal to us some of the views and some of the debates that go on in the Vatican between the cardinals and the archbishops about how the end of days is going to play out. This guy's a powerful guy. He grew up behind the Iron Curtain under communism. He saw his grandfather murdered. He tells you how the underground church had to worship both Protestants and Catholics together. And it didn't matter if they had a preacher or a priest, if they could just get one man of God to give them the word of God, no matter what They didn't care about denominations. He is such a wonderful man of God. I'll tell you, you're going to enjoy this interview. This is one of the most, I'm just impressed how he loves the Lord. He loves seeing people come to Jesus Christ. And so you're going to enjoy this and get some of the secrets unlocked about the Vatican and their views. And believe me, he disagrees. He told me, he said, there's not hardly anything that the Pope of Rome and I agree on. He said, Pope Francis and I don't know if there's anything we agree on. So you're going to enjoy this interview. I think it's going to be great. So make sure you get your tickets. Does somebody got the link? There it is. Thank you, beautiful story. Armies of the Antichrist. Go ahead and get your tickets now. There's also another, let's see, besides that, Steve Quayle's going to be in this one. Mike from Around the World is going to be in this one. Rex Bear is going to be in this one. Also, it's just slipping my mind. Who else we've already got lined up for this? Oh, we got a big one. I can't say his name until he officially is locked down, but we've talked to his people who schedule him, and we had dinner with him Saturday night, actually, by chance. It was a divine connection. And so we won't say his name until we have him locked completely down. But if we get him, it is a game changer. It's a game changer to help us understand the armies of the Antichrist. This guy is well known, worldwide known. And wow. So that's all I can say. I'll let you know as soon as I get him locked down. We've got the commitment from his schedulers. Now we just need to get 1 hour with him. All I need is 1 hour to do the interview. Okay. So anyway, get your tickets now. Armies of the Antichrist. I can't even remember. There's other people too that we're getting. It's going to be great. So be sure you get prepared for that. Oh, by the way, Heidi said to make sure I remind people about silver. She's pushing me on that every day. She said right now is the season when things are. As a matter of fact, that just reminds me, I got to have my swig of silver. That's why I keep it here, because that usually reminds me. But silver, nano silver, good for your build up that immune system, guys. Let's stay on top of this thing. Let's not get a bottle or two. Go to my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com and get a bottle or two of that. Also, the lozenges may be the best thing of all, because if you start to get a tickle, you start to feel something not right, get a sore throat started. No. Put the brakes on it right now with silver lozenges. It also has Manuka honey in it. Taste awesome. Best tasting and most effective cough drops, lozenges in the world. And I can say that with all confidence. All right. Support your immune system and soothe your throat from any discomforts with this nanotechnology silver lozenges. It's immune support supplement, cooling, soothing action. No gluten, no soy, and no nuts in it. This is insane. No GMOs, silver lozenges, Manuka honey. What a blend and what a great product. If you get any cuts or wounds or sunburns or anything like that, you need some kind of healing gel. This right here is a great product. We have it, the wound gel made of silver. This is what got us through World War II, guys. Putting silver salve on people's wounds saved them. It's great for minor cuts, lacerations, abrasions, first and second degree burns, and skin irritations. Heidi wants to be sure you guys know that. And not last, but definitely not least, silver toothpaste. The silver toothpaste, what a great product this is. No fluoride, no GMO, no fluoride. Did I say it? Did I tell you about this? No fluoride. No, instead, it's silver and a wintergreen taste, a minted taste to it. Awesome product. No GMOs, no fluoride. Winter mint with silver. All natural ingredients. It's amazing. Kill everything don't let nothing get started in your mouth and start. No. Kill everything and have a fresh wintergreen taste. That's a great product. So get all the silver products. They're at my website. Go to paulbegleyprophecy.com. prophecy.com. That's publiclyprophecy.com. Got to tell you about these things because Heidi said, if I don't tell you about it, and a lot of people don't know about it, they don't even know these products are at our website. She said, this is the season. This is the time. For the next month, you got to make sure you tell people so that they have enough of a supply of everything. So get extra. Have a supply to get you through the winter, okay? Get extra. All right. Guys, there's a whole lot to talk about today. Now, there's several things. As I said, I'm going to be back. I'm going to be doing a live show at 12 noon and right here on this YouTube channel. And also, I'm going to be doing a live show co-hosting with Melvin Whittington, Pastor Melvin Whittington, this evening. That show starts at 7 p.m. That's over at ffctv.info. That's www.ffctv.info. Okay, so keep that in mind for tonight. Also, let me just say quickly that, again, your prayers, we appreciate your prayers. As my son Brock, his wife's mother died yesterday unexpectedly. She had surgery the day before. She died the next day. This was a shock. The whole thing was a shock. The fact that she was ill and had to go straight to the hospital and had to go to emergency surgery. And then the next day she died. This was yesterday. This was a shock to our family. And so Brock's mother-in-law, her name is Debbie, and she's went on to be with the Lord. She loved the Lord. And it's a tough one for all of us. And my three of my grandkids live, Brock's three children, of course, very hurt because their grandmother lived there with them. Okay. And so this is a really tough thing. I want you to pray for my family. Heidi has already caught a plane. She's already in Indiana. She's going to be helping with the arrangements and everything else going on there. And I stayed behind to take care of the ministry and the things I got to do here. I just wasn't really not able to really travel this trip. Just not really. So I got so much to do as well. So we made the decision for her to go and for me to stay. And so, through it all, we're going to get through it. We're all going to get through it. It's a tough time we're in. So please give your life to Jesus Christ. I know tomorrow I'm going to be filming 4 television shows. They're going to be quite remarkable, really, to say that, to be honest with you, they're going to be extremely remarkable. They'll be airing on television. I'm going to be filming them from the studios in Orlando, Florida, from a television station, Channel 45, Orlando, Florida. So I can go there and film when I'm in Florida there, and I can film at Channel 40 in Indianapolis when I'm in Indiana. So I've got that worked out. We're so thankful to Channel 45, called The Good Life. We've been on that channel now 4 years. We're on every Sunday afternoon at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Every Sunday afternoon, 5 o'clock. That program does extremely well, and so I'll be working pretty hard tomorrow on that, and then I'll get back in time. Yes, for sure, to take care of Thursday night's live broadcast with Mike from around the world. Okay, that'll be tomorrow night, and that starts at 9:30 Eastern. So we got a lot to do. Okay, a lot to do. So pray one for another. Also, our Paul Begley School of Prophecy classes are doing great. I think we got 46 or 47 students, maybe 48 students this year. I dropped in on one of the classes the other night with Jerry Ewald, who's teaching the prophecy class. He's doing great. He teaches it better than I can. I mean, he's amazing. Of course, he is a graduate of Moody Institute out of Chicago. And he's just a brilliant young man. And so that class is doing great. I know Shelley Wheeling is teaching a couple classes that are doing great. Ryan Trogler is teaching, and his classes, we're getting great feedback from that class. That is just awesome. And Pastor Marcus Wolverton is teaching, doing a wonderful job. And somebody else is teaching, and for some unknown reason, I'm having this inability to think. But check it all out, guys. You want to definitely be signed up for next semester. These classes are incredible, and you want to get them. I'll be back with some more information for you, but certainly it's very disturbing that the sun exploded like that and released 2 M1 class solar flares and also several C-class solar flares, plus some CMEs, 8 different releases from the sun. It's going to affect us. And the worst part about it is this sunspot is turning directly toward us. And so the next 3-4 days, we're going to have a direct, it's going to have a direct angle at us. And man, if that does again what it just did this morning, we're in trouble. Okay. We're in trouble. So please keep your eyes open. Jesus is coming soon. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. So stay right here for more on the coming apocalypse. Give your life to Jesus Christ. We're almost out of time, and I'm having some coffee right now. Some Are You Serious blend.